Okay, you guys, I was gonna make this video on my computer, but it won't save video or pictures right now. I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna have to do it on my phone, and you're probably not even gonna be able to see this, so I'm sorry, but it's the best I can do. So you guys keep asking me, some of you, about the pay plan and what's the difference between TV and CV and all that kind of stuff, and so I'm just gonna start from the beginning and explain everything. I'm going to go over the entire pay plan. This might be a long video, so just bear with me. First of all, this is the pay plan at a glance. The thing that's most confusing about people is the difference between TV and CV. TV is team volume and CV is company volume. You don't have to worry about that until you hit Silver Premier. Until you hit that, that is a non-issue for you. You don't have to worry, but I'll explain it anyway. First of all, PV is personal volume, so that is your own personal sales. Those are the sales that you get in any given month. Okay, team volume is your team sales, obviously. So you and your downline and their downline, etc., etc. I'll get to company volume later. Qualified frontline means your own personal recruits that have $200 in sales for the month. So once one of your recruits gets $200 in sales, that means they're qualified. That doesn't mean anything to them, but it means something to you because you have to have a certain number of qualified front lines every month to hit certain ranks. Okay. So when you sign up with Posh and you get your starter kit, you are considered a protege. You make 20% commission on your own sales, and all you have to do is enroll and purchase a starter kit. So that's where you start out. Everyone starts out at 20% commission. Once you hit $1,000 in sales, you bump up to pink. Now, your pay raise is 5%, so you make 25% instead of 20%. And that goes into effect the month that you get your $1,000 in sales. So they tell you the best thing to do is get your $1,000 in sales, as much as you can in 1 month, because you get paid that 25% on the month you hit it. So if you get $1,000 in sales your first month, you'll get, 25% commission that month. If you get $999 in sales your first month, you'll make 20% commission on that. And then the next month, you'll bump up and make 25 on that month, if that makes sense. And then that, obviously, $1,000, that's what I just said. Okay, so this is where it gets confusing to some people. So to hit Pink Plus One, which that bumps you up to a 1% pay increase, but you also start getting paid on your team as long as you hit certain levels. So in order to become a Pink Plus One, we go over here and you have to have $500 a month in PV, which is personal sales, and your entire company, so everyone under you and you combined, has to have $2,000 in sales a month. So you're 500 and then 1,500 from whoever else is on your team. And then you have to have one qualified frontline. So $500 in sales of your own, $2,000 for your entire team, and then one of your front lines has to have $200 in sales. Okay? Okay, and then same thing when it comes to Pink Plus 2. It's the same idea. You get an extra 1% increase in your own pay, and then you start getting paid on your team. So what happens is, once you hit Pink Plus 1, as long as you hit those qualifications every month, so you get your 500, your team gets their 2,000, and you have a qualified, you start getting paid on all your front lines. So for example, your Pink Plus 1, okay, your commission is 25%, you get paid weekly your 25%, and then on the 10th you get your bonus, which is the extra 1%, okay? And then say one of your front lines is a protege, you get paid 2% of their entire team sales. So them and everyone under them, you get paid 2% of that, okay? So if you have a front line who's pink, you get paid 1%. Pink Plus 1, you get paid 1%. Why this box is blank here? If you are a Pink Plus 1 and your front line outranks you, so your front line is a Pink Plus 2, you do not make commission off of their sales. Anyone that's higher than you do not make commission off their sales. Okay? Keep that in mind. So it's basically the same thing for Pink Plus 2, Pink Plus 3. The requirements are a little higher. It's always $500 a month for yourself. You always have to get $500 in PV to get paid on your team. Okay. Even when you get up here to gold and silver premier and all that, you have to get 500 per month to get paid on your team. Now for pink plus 2, your team sales have to be 4,000, or your company, but it's still technically your team. 4,000 per month and 2 qualified. That's why it's pink plus 2. Okay, and then pink plus 3, same thing. You have your 25% as your base, which is your weekly commission, and then your 5% bonus. It bumps up to 5% when you hit pink plus 3. So to get pink plus 3, you have to have your 500. Your CV, your company volume, has to be 8,000 per month, and then you have to have 3 qualified. So 3 of your front lines have to have $200 in sales or more. And then all of your sales combined have to be at least 8,000. Okay. And then you get paid on your front lines. If you have a protege front line, if you're pink plus 3, you get 5% on all their team sales. If they're pink, you get 4%, pink plus 1, 3%, and so on and so forth. Okay, now when you hit premier, this is when it kind of gets a little bit different and gets confusing to people. More so when you hit silver premier, but when you hit premier, you get a 6% bonus, and your pay off of your team bumps up 1% for each level. Okay, you still have to get your 500 per month. Your team volume has to be 6,000 per month, and your company volume has to be 20,000 per month, and then you have to have your 4 qualified front lines. Okay, now once you hit silver, okay, which means that one person under you, and it doesn't have to be your front line, it can be anyone in your company, that means that someone under you has hit premier, and that bumps you up to silver. Okay, now what that means is, besides your 500 per month, your team volume, which means everyone who is not under the person who hit premier. So like for my team, Jamie is my first generation premier. So I'm a silver premier. She is a premier. So everyone that is not under Jamie is my team. Okay? Everyone combined with all of Jamie's team and my team combined is my company. Okay? So in order for me to maintain my rank of silver, I have to get 500 per month personal sales. My team, so everyone that is not on Jamie's team, everyone that is above that, has to be 6,000 per month, and then our teams combined have to hit 30,000 per month. Okay. Same with her team. Her entire team has to hit 20,000 per month. Okay. But when you hit silver, you have to have a first generation premier under you. And first generation doesn't mean they have to be your front line. It just means that they're the closest premier to you if you were looking at it like a tree. Okay. And then obviously, what you get paid on silver is a little more. Silver and premier is a little more. You get a 6% bonus instead of 5 at pink plus 3. And then you get paid a little more on because you have that first generation premier. So like I get paid off of all my front lines here, 6% off my proteges, 5% off my pinks. And then I get 2% bonus off of my first generation premier. Okay. And it seems like that's not very much. 2% doesn't seem like it's very much, but if you think about it, if you're hitting $30,000 or $40,000 a month in sales, if that your company is hitting that amount, 2 to 3%, 3% if you are gold, you get off your second generation, and once you hit platinum, you make 4% off of your third generation premier. So you have to have, 4 breakaway premiers under you, first generation premiers under you. So I just want to really quick, let me see, which one is this one? Okay, so it doesn't seem like it's that much of a pay difference, but I just want to look at this really quick. And I loosely based this off of my own team and company sales. So let's say they like to use Patty Posh. Let's say Patty Posh is a pink plus 3, okay? and just bear with me here. This might be a little confusing, but I'm trying to make it really simple. She got $500 in sales, so her PV for that month is $500. Okay, she makes 30% because the 25% and then the 5% bonus. Okay, so her sales at $500 a month, 30% commission, she makes $150 off of her sales. That's all the sales she made in a month. Okay, she made $150 in commission. Okay, now let's say her first front line, her team volume, she's built up and built up and built up, and she's about to have a breakaway premiere. So her team volume is $14,000, and she's a pink +3. So she makes 1% off of her. So Patty Posh makes 1% off of her front lines, $14,000, which equals out to $140. Okay, and then you go on down the line to all your front lines. You only need to worry about your front lines, and you know this is their volume, their team volume that they've made through the month, and the percentages. So she makes 3% off her pink +1s, 4% off her pinks, 5% off her proteges, and you add it all up. You add up all those numbers, okay? And so Patty Posh would make $530 a month for commission. And that's pretty good, because technically if she's making $500 and she only got $500 in sales, then she's making pretty much 100% commission. I mean, realistically. But on the other side here, say Patty Posh bumps up and she gets a premiere under her. Say she's already hit premiere, okay, and she bumps up to silver premiere. And I mean, it's the same thing with premiere. It's a pay raise, obviously. So she makes 31% off of her commissions, which is only an extra $5. But she makes a little more off of her front lines as well. Okay. So you go down and, you know, you make a little bit more off of each of them than you would have previously. And then you get down here, and the amount your first generation premiere, their team volume is $40,000 for the month. Okay. And our company sales have been averaging a little over $40,000 a month. Okay. So off of her first generation premiere, 2% doesn't seem like a lot, but that equals out to $800. Okay. So you add the $800 off your company, you know, however much off of your team, and then your own personal sales commission of $155. And that's $1,286 a month, you guys. That's a huge bump in pay from, you know, a pink +3. And I mean, it's a big bump in pay to hit premiere too. That's why it's kind of confusing when you look at it and you look at the chart and you say, oh, well, 2%, that's not that much, you know, it's not that much of an increase, but it makes a big difference, because in order to get to premiere and silver premiere and gold premiere, you have to build your team anyway. And the numbers just kind of come naturally with that. As you're building your team, you have more people, and people are going to rank up. So this is why I'm telling you, you guys, you got to build your teams. It's essential if you want to make big paychecks, okay? But anyway, that's not the point. I hope this helped you guys understand the pay plan a little better. Sorry if you heard kids screaming the whole time. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll try to answer them for you.